In the past, Barb sits inside Vault-Tec headquarters as executives calmly discuss the apocalypse like it's a marketing campaign. Nuclear blasts over Los Angeles are debated not by death toll, but by how clean the mushroom clouds will look on billboards. Then comes the water chip presentation, a 30% failure rate. Vault-Tec will know which vaults will fail before installation, meaning they'll knowingly doom certain populations. Preferences are discussed casually. Afterward, Barb meets with Robert House's public-facing double, with Hank McLean quietly taking notes. House unveils the automated man, a machine built by approaching humanity from the opposite direction, stripping people down instead of building machines up. It's clearly an early version of the mind control tech that Hank later perfects. Barb tries to steer House toward continuing his research inside vaults, but he cuts her off. Vault-Tec is paying him. In return, he gets cold fusion to power something in Vegas. What that project is, he says, is above her pay grade. She'll find out after the bombs fall. Later, Barb is alone, staring at her family, quietly unraveling under the weight of what she's helping create. That guilt collides head-on with Cooper. He asks her if she was always a monster or if she became one later. When she reframes everything as being for Janie, Cooper realizes the truth. Barb is willing to kill millions, then billions, to protect their daughter. When he asks her to name someone worse than herself, she can't. In a final blow, Barb asks her assistant Betty to gather everything about how cold fusion is stored. None of it is a good idea, she admits, but it's happening anyway. In the elevator, Siggy reminds Barb she's replaceable. Forget her place and her family dies. The bombs are coming and no one can stop it. When Cooper pushes to find out who really controls Vault-Tec, Barb begs him to let it go. This isn't a movie, there is no happy ending. When Cooper says he doesn't know her anymore and walks away, Barb is left behind, trapped inside the machine she helped build. In the present, the ghoul is dying in New Vegas, impaled and desperate. He screams for Dogmeat to bring his vials. The dog brings back a hat. The ghoul snaps, furious, then collapses again, barely holding on. As his condition worsens, he forces himself to remember who he is. He says his name out loud, Cooper Howard. He remembers Janie, saying she is alive. That realization gives him just enough strength to climb the pole, impaling him, but he slips, coughing blood. Eventually, a massive creature cuts him down and drags him to a church. There, a super mutant calmly inserts uranium into his wound, explaining it's poison for humans but medicine for ghouls. He says a war is coming and they need the ghoul alive. He calls ghouls and mutants family, abominations created on purpose and then abandoned. The ghoul rejects that. He's survived 200 years alone for one reason, to find his family. When he refuses to join them, the mutant tells him that means he won't learn where his family is, then knocks him out. Back in the past, Cooper confronts Barb one last time. She pleads with him not to walk away. He asks who threatened her. She says she doesn't even know who runs Vault-Tec. When Cooper says he's gonna do something, she knows she's already lost him. Later that same night, Cooper brings a drunk Hank McLean back to his hotel room. He drugs him, opens the briefcase, and finds an injector. Before he can get answers, Barb arrives and injects Hank directly, revealing the truth. Cold fusion was in Hank's neck the entire time. Lucy wakes up inside a perfect replica of her Vault home, a simulation built inside Vault-Tec offices. Her father leaves her sugar bombs and a note telling her to call him. She doesn't. Instead, she wanders the halls and sees men dressed like Caesar's Legion, polite, smiling, with mind control devices embedded in their necks. She finds rows of cheerful workers assembling more devices in perfect synchronization. In the simulation room, she finds Hank cooking, humming to swing music. He talks about all quiet on the Western Front, about how people kill each other over meaningless differences. He calls violence ironic and insane. Lucy puts a knife to his throat, formally arrests him for the destruction of Shady Sands, and prepares to drag him back to Vault 33. To her shock, Hank surrenders willingly. He says everything he did was to protect her. He admits the cost may have been too high, but insists what he's doing is redemptive. Lucy calls it brainwashing, but Hank calls it progress. As they walk through the offices, Hank proudly introduces the people he's helped, murderers turned pencil sharpeners, former enemies now making trail mix, and he beams. Lucy orders him to open the doors and free everyone. Hank agrees, but warns that many won't want to leave. And he's right. When two unaltered men are brought in, one Legion, one NCR, Lucy insists they go free. The Legion soldier immediately attacks. Lucy stabs him with a pencil. Chaos erupts. At Hank's urging, Lucy presses the button. The mind control kicks in and violence stops instantly. Hank looks at Lucy triumphant. This is what he's been trying to prevent. On the road, Maximus and Thaddeus struggle after abandoning their power armor. Thaddeus jokes about selling the cold fusion. Maximus refuses, saying it should go to a good person. Thaddeus laughs, saying that good people don't exist in the wasteland. If they were rich, then they could afford to be good. Maximus pushes back, remembering shady sands, remembering kindness. That argument hangs unresolved as Dogmeat appears carrying the ghoul's hat, and the two follow him. By morning, they find the ghoul, and no one looks happy about it. Inside another vault, Overseer Betty dissolves the inbreed and support group due to water shortages. Reg challenges her publicly, arguing that inherited privilege is the foundation of America and of the vault itself. The crowd sides with Reg. Betty stands alone. Elsewhere, Chet discovers posters announcing his engagement to Stephanie and their wedding tomorrow. Control is slipping everywhere.